Hey guys, welcome to the Antz channel, and today I'm going to go through DeFi farming on the Polygon network. Remember, if you have any questions on any of the content I'm about to present, definitely throw them down in the comments and I can answer them. So this is the Matic wallet. You can see your balances and all that stuff in here. As you can see, I have just a little bit of Matic, and that's what you use for transfer fees. So transfer fees are very, very low. That's a huge appeal to the network. And yeah, so one of the for high-risk farms, one of the great resources is RugDoc, and through RugDoc you can check out different farms and their associated risks. So low risk does not mean you're not going to lose money or get rug pulled. It just means that there's a lower risk of that. So this is not a foolproof thing. Do your own research, not financial advice. Enter at your own risk. So one of the farms I wanted to show you guys was Polypup. Right now it's doing a layer 2 thing, which is bone. So layer 2 just is another farm that they do under the same website, and it takes the previous farm token as well as a new farm token called bone. So that's what layer 2 is in this case. And so here's I got $1.76, and so I'm just gonna harvest that, and you can see how the harvesting process looks. So my setup, I have a MetaMask and a Ledger, and I really like the setup because MetaMask is it works relatively well, and Ledger makes me have that additional security that there's pretty much no way for anyone to touch the private key without the ledger itself. So yeah, let me show you what harvesting looks like. Go ahead and confirm, and then you confirm it on the ledger. So you have to do it for each pool you're in, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you the pools right after I confirm these. Alright, so now it's all harvested, and you can see it's pending over here, and some of them went through really quick, and it's all done. So it's moving really fast right now. I think a reason of that would be having a RPC, like a dedicated RPC to me, that you can do on rpc.maticvigil.com, and it's a free thing, and it kind of helps with making things go faster, especially when the network's kind of congested. So here's QuickSwap. So this is how you can actually swap out your tokens. So I'm gonna take that bone, and maybe I'll just get some well, let's see so I like to compound and add to the pool with the highest return. So right now it's looking like Aave has the highest return in this pool, but if I look at PolyBrew actually has some crazy APYs right now, but you can see the harvest time. Harvest lockup is 40 hours. So it's one of those things where you kind of have to balance out like what you're willing to do in terms of waiting for your harvesting and compounding, because the longer your harvest is unharvested, the more likely the value is to go down, because with farm tokens, the value tends to go down over time. So I can show you a quick graph of that. So let's go to the quick chart and take a look at the pup token, or the bone token. You can see here that it just goes down. So this one had a little pump here, and then it just goes down typically after the farming starts, and this downtrend just like continues massively. So typically holding those farm tokens is not very profitable. That's why I'm pretty hesitant about the 40-hour lockup. So Sushi Swap is another AMM, automated market maker, also known as a decentralized exchange. It uses smart contracts to come up with the prices. So QuickSwap and Sushi Swap are the main automated market makers. So I'm going to go ahead and swap the bone for Matic, and that's the exchange right there. So I'm going to go ahead and swap that, confirm. And then I'm going to go ahead and confirm it on the ledger. And there we go. And that usually takes a second. You can see it loading over there, and then you can always check your MetaMask. Looks like it went through. Yeah, it's going really fast with this thing going on. So PolyBrew, this is another farm I'm in. This 40-hour lockup is pretty disappointing. I have a little bit of link in there, and so far it's it's earning pretty well. $6.74 from like about $100, $150 of link. So yeah. Then we got the Harvester app. So this one's kind of interesting. I saw this one, and it looked kind of appealing because you can GRT, you can farm with GRT the graph token. So I kind of like the graph token, so it's one of those ones that I do want to hold over time. So being able to accumulate it over time would be really ideal. So this is kind of an interesting setup though, where you have to sow more GRT, and there's a minimum amount required to actually harvest it. So you can't just click a harvest button and harvest it. So next we got Polycat. Polycat is one of the biggest farms there is, and it's one of the oldest farms in the Polygon network. So, well, actually, I should probably not say that. Probably not oldest, but it's one of the like older farms. And you can see there's $146 million locked up. You can see the pools though. You're only looking at about 68, 48, 50%. Over at PolyBrew, we're looking at 2,000, 10,000%, and these are APRs, not APYs. The difference is APY is compounding, APR is over the year calculation, so it's not including any compound interest. So a big one I want to show you is Beefy. This one is an auto compounding pool, and this is just absolutely insane. 28% daily APY. So it doesn't even tell you what it is over there. Bone, which is the native token, also crazy APY, 13% daily. Yeah, I don't know why these APYs are so high, but I just put $6 in just to see what happened. I actually lost like 50 cents already on it, so it hasn't really been performing. But sometimes if the coin pumps, you'll see like some good gains from it. So we'll see what happens with that. Next is Polypulsar. This one's kind of an interesting one. You can actually buy NFTs on it. So this one, let me refresh. Sometimes these sites can be kind of buggy, so you just refresh and then it'll come back. So I have a common bounty hunter, and they can do missions, and the missions cost money to do. They cost 50 beeple, which comes out to about what is that math? Let's see, 10. That's about $1 times 5, so it's about $2. So it's about $10 for to do a mission. And then the missions go up in price, and the rewards can go up in price too. So it's kind of just a way to gamble with NFTs, which is kind of cool. You also have pet shops where you can actually PvP other people, which is also another form of gambling, except you're doing it against other people. So that's kind of an interesting thing too. So over here we got VFAT Tools, which is a good resource for looking for new farms, as well as just looking at the status of your farm. So over here we can see in Polypup Bone, it's going to go ahead and load all the pools that are in Bone and tell me all the information about them. So over here, it shows me that I'm staking 0.05 UniV2. So that is the liquidity pool I'm in with Bone and Matic. So that one's a 5,000% return. So liquidity pools are kind of interesting. You put in two different assets and you put them in a pool, and you get an LP token for that, and then you can put the LP token on the farm and get returns on that. And so it's kind of a double return, because you get returns on some small returns on fees from transactions for Bone and Matic, and then you also get the return from the high APR. One thing you have to worry about is impermanent loss. So as the farm token goes down in price, you're going to see some serious impermanent loss, which is what I saw on Beefy earlier. So usually it tells you a little price breakdown, but I think that since this is such a new farm and the price is just fluctuating so much, it's not really giving me any information on that. So let's move on to the Maticvigil. So as you can see here, this was the last time, so I've been doing some harvesting and stuff like that, so let's see what happened. Go ahead and refresh that. And yeah, it went down. I think it may have just reset. So yeah, it's a pretty cool way to use an RPC. So an RPC helps when there's congestion on the network. So you would change your RPC to a Quick Swap has its own RPCs that you can load onto MetaMask. So here's kind of an example. You can have a custom RPC, and so you say network name, and then you go to the RPC URL. So if you go to Quick Swap RPC, RPX RPC, then it gives you all the information, custom RPC, and there's the information you got to put in to get that going. So yeah, it's a good way when there's network congestion, which has been happening a lot recently. Aave, this is another interesting one where you can actually borrow off of your crypto or stable coins. So and it'll actually give you returns on the amount you borrow. It used to be a lot higher, but it looks like Matic's the best in terms of returns, but they've gone down a lot since they've started out. And over here we have Curve. This is one of the older DeFi protocols that's been out, and this is another lending and borrowing protocol, as well as a multi-asset liquidity pool. So this one's kind of a cool one where you have 5 different assets, but again, impermanent loss is a real thing. It's not a great name because it makes it sound like it's temporary, but the losses are permanent. So I think the person who came up with the name probably made liquidity pools to make it sound more appealing. So yeah, that's about it for the DeFi ecosystem. If you have any questions, definitely post them up in the comments. I answer every question because there's not many people asking, so it's pretty easy to do.